global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
The future of Nigeria seems dictatorial considering this particular bill you are going to hear, which is introduced into the House by the Speaker of the House of Representatives. And, the troubling part of it is that agitators, especially those who are seeking for self-determination, the likes of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, Oduduwa Agitators, Arewa Agitators, and even protesters will have it very hot. This time around, he's going to be having it from the law. I don't know what is going to happen as it has been pushed in, but we are hopeful that it will be withstood by those who understand the full meaning of what this will be in the nearest future. Let's dive into the full details of this bill. The House of Representatives is considering a new legislation that could impose a 25-year imprisonment or a 10 million naira fine or both on individuals convicted of making statements or taking actions that lead to separatist agitations or intergroup conflict in Nigeria. The proposed bill, known as the Counter-Subversion Bill 2024, is currently before the House and aims to criminalize subversive activities by various groups, including association, organization, militia, cults, bandits, and other proscribed entities in the country. The bill, which is sponsored by the Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas, is set to undergo a second reading, where its general principles will be debated. According to the explanatory memorandum of the bill, it seeks to address and penalize acts that threatens national unity and security. The legislation is designed to curb activities that could incite violence, promote separatist agendas, or undermine the federal government. In addition to targeting separatist action, the bill will also prescribe penalties for other forms of subversive behavior. For instance, anyone found guilty of destroying national symbols, refusing to recite the national anthem, and pledge defacing places of worship with the intent to cause violence or subverting the federal government could face a fine of 5 million naira or 10 years prison sentence or both. Moreover, the bill outlined punishment for individuals involved in illegal activities that disrupt public order. Those convicted of mounting illegal roadblocks, engaging in unauthorized traffic control, imposing illegal curfew, or conducting illegal processions could be liable to a fine of 2 million or 5 years imprisonment or both. The legislation further proposed a fine of 4 million naira or 2 years imprisonment or prison term for anyone convicted of castigating, denigrating, embarrassing, or bringing into disrepute the leadership of the community, religion, lawful group, local government, state, or federal government. This is laughable, I must say. Also, Section 2, 5, 6, and 10 of the proposed legislation states that a person who engages in activities that result in mutual suspicion, mistrust, distrust, or intolerance which degenerates into conflict and violence that threaten the corporate existence, peace, and security of the Federation of Nigeria commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine of 5 million naira or imprisonment for a term of 10 years or both. A person who forcefully takes over any place of worship, town hall, school premises, public or private place, arena, or similar places through duress, undue influence, subterfuge, or other similar activities committed an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine of 5 million naira or imprisonment for a term of 10 years or both. A person who professes loyalty, pledges or agrees to belong to an organization that disregards the sovereignty of Nigeria commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine of 3 million naira or imprisonment for a term of 4 years or both. A person who receives financial or public or political support from a foreign organization, group, or country that is not compatible with the interest, development, security, and progress of Nigeria commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine of 15 million naira or imprisonment for a term of 20 years or both. Also, Section 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, and 20 of the bill provides that every person, group, or organization that engages in activities that determine national security, harmonious community interaction, peaceful coexistence, and the maintenance of law of order commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine of 3 million naira or imprisonment for a term of 5 years or both. I'll take that one again. It said also section 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, and 20 of the bill provide that every person, group, or organization that engages in activities that undermines national security, harmonious community interaction, peaceful coexistence, and the maintenance of law and order commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine of 3 million naira or imprisonment for the term of 5 years or both. A person, group, organization that persistently disregard, disobey, or disrespect constituted authority. That's persistently, that's the word, persistently disregard, disobey, or disrespect constituted authority, rules, regulation, order, or contravene the law willfully commits an offense and is liable on conviction to 3 years imprisonment at the first instance and 7 years for a subsequent offense, or to a fine of 5 million naira or both. A person who habitually violates the law, refuses or prevent arrest, disrupt legal processes or proceeding, engage in contrary behavior, or persistent and recalcitrant defiance and rebellion against constituted authority, commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine of 5 million naira or 7 years imprisonment or both. A person who establishes, creates, operate, or maintain funds, support, or assist a paramilitary group, guards, brigade, organization, corps, union, militia, cult, or bandit group under whatever name or guise except established by the laws passed by the National Assembly or State House of Assembly, commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine of 10 million naira or 15 years imprisonment or both. While section 17 and 20 adds that a person who illegally construct a structure or take over a public place, road, or field without permission from the authorities is in charge of the place, commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine of 1 million naira imprisonment for a term of 3 years or both. I'll read that one again. This is really laughable. He said, while section 17 and 20 adds that a person who illegally construct a structure or take a public place, that in case that's protest and they did not give you a mandate to take over the public place, road, in other words, you're walking in a road which illegally you have not been permitted to walk in that road, or field, maybe you are a church and you illegally go and stand in a place and you are doing evangelism when you have not obtained permission from the authorities in charge of that place, commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine of 1 million naira or imprisonment for a term of 3 years or both. Let me just say something before we continue. It therefore means even the opposition parties in a particular state, if they intend to carry out their campaign and the state governor refuses to give them permission for them to use that place, if they do any form of procession, they will be arrested. And they will be liable to 1 million naira imprisonment for a term of 3 years or both. And the next one says, a person who owns, possess, produce, distribute, import, handles, use military, police, or intelligence agency uniform, emblem, or accoutrement, commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine of 2 million naira or imprisonment for a term of 2 years or both. Now let's explain this one. That a person who owns, possess, produce, distribute, import, handle, uses military, police, or intelligence agency uniform, emblem, or accoutrements, commit an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine of 2 million naira or imprisonment for a term of 2 years or both. Which means if you have a car and there is a sticker, military sticker, whether it is army, police, or maybe their clothing around you in anywhere, maybe by mistake you bought it in the market, or more, you don't enter one chance. 2 million naira or imprisonment for a term of 2 years. And if the judge doesn't like your face, both of them, you pay 2 million naira and you stay in prison for 2 years. What a law. This is quite interesting, I must say. And I don't know who they are looking at, but this is dictatorial. First of all, that's what I have to say. This is totally dictatorial. If such a bill is passed into law, it gives the sitting president or sitting governor or the sitting local government chairman the right to remote control things to his favor. You come and make any demands, and whatever you are about to do is not in sync or does not favor his government, automatically you will not be granted permission. In event of you doing it, you're going to be arrested. Imagine talking about road. If you, maybe people feel agitated and troubled and they decide to step on the road to protest. How can this thing happen to us? This is very bad. If police catches you by this particular bill, if it is passed into law, you are going to be liable for a crime of more than 3 years. Just imagine what the future will look like for Nigerians. Now the issue of agitation, which means if they pass this law and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still in prison, the story is best told by the gods, because it's a case of he's going to remain there for the rest of the next 25 years. You know, he's not he has not been committed to prison yet. He is still in DSS custody, pending the time that all these things will take place. Which means if they convict him or maybe make use of some of the statements he has said in the past and they decide to convict him, Ross will spend 25 years in prison or he pays 20 million naira, or unfortunately if the whole thing is political, therefore means both will be done. I don't know how they're going to handle this case, but however, this is sponsored by the Speaker himself, Speaker of the House of Representatives. Don't forget that about 60 lawmakers have already sent a message across to the President, 180 of them, about political solution to the issues that is to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's issue. So all of that putting into play, it therefore means there's going to be a huge battle right now on how this issue can be, or this particular bill will be passed. Let me leave it there. Let's be that.
Global happenings today.